Time now for the Knicks Fix, and as always, we say hello to our pal Hahn down in the Squarespace studio. Alan, when Allonzo Trier has played this year, he has made the most of his minutes.
He's been very productive, and it's amazing that you think from last year when he looked like an undrafted player that they had discovered and had played very well to this year where he opens the season in the starting rotation. And now he's only played 23 games. He's gone on long stretches of not playing, but he stayed very positive. And over the 3-game road trip the Knicks just had, he was extremely productive. He averaged 10 points a game and about 11 minutes per game. And he proved once again that he is an effective scorer and can be ready at a moment's notice. 15 points in 16 minutes against Charlotte on Wednesday. And over this trip, Bill, he shot 70% from the field and 3 of 4 from downtown. And this after he sat through 13 straight DNPs. Now, Coach Mike Miller has lauded his readiness and said that he continues to work on his game and clearly did during the All-Star break. And Trier said of sitting so much, you got to be a pro. I played my whole life to be in this position. But let's talk about his effectiveness as a scorer. 26.2 points per 100 possessions is second best on the team behind Julius Randle. His offensive rating, 113, is behind Mitchell Robinson and Taj Gibson. His player efficiency rating is also a very good 14.3, and that's fifth best on the team. Now, in a team that struggles with its shooting, his effective field goal percentage is 56.9, which is also fourth best among his teammates. So we know he can score. So why isn't he playing? You talk about defense, and you talk about a lot of young players who are in this league, and his defensive rating is 117. That's the lowest on the team. So you would think that he's got to work on that, and he certainly has to focus on that. But the Knicks also have to focus on him. Why? Because now after a 2-year contract, he becomes a restricted free agent this summer with a cap hold of just under $5 million. So they have a decision to make with him when they get into the offseason. So we'll keep an eye on Allonzo Trier's playing time. And of course, we know he's always ready to go.
Alan, Thursday against the Sixers, and Knicks from the line, only 14 of 24, and it's been like that all year long.
You remember, Bill, we talked about this after the first quarter of the season. We were pointing out how free throws had been an issue for this team. But with just over a quarter of the season left, it remains an issue. How much of an issue? In fact, this could be the first time in franchise history they finish with the lowest free throw percentage in the NBA, in the entire league. That's where they are right now. They haven't been under 70% in 35 years. That's how long it's been since they have shot this poorly. And it's been a struggle, and a lot of the players that you can point to on this team have struggled. As you see right there, the lowest in franchise history. And look how long it's been, 85-86 team. But though I got to tell you, though, the 47 and 48 teams, and that was before the NBA, it's worth noting in those 2 seasons, look at the NBA average. The Knicks were actually not too bad when you consider the average around the league, but still, it's very low. The game has certainly changed, and they're not shooting underhand free throws like you and I used to do back in the day, Bill. But, you know, there are players on this team that are struggling, that are actually shooting poorly compared to what they've done consistently. Damian Dotson's a good shooter. He's under 70%. Taj Gibson, under 70. Kevin Knox, under 65. R.J. Barrett has struggled. He's at 60%. Mitchell Robinson's under 60% at 57. Elfrid Payton is under 60%. Think about this. And Dennis Smith Jr. is at 50% as well. Clyde always says to be a pro, you've got to hit 7 out of every 10. That's what you should do. That's why we make 70% sort of that line. And right now the Knicks, they're under it as a team.
Okay, Alan, meantime, the opponent tonight, the Bulls, really struggling. What's the latest on the relationship between the coach, Jim Boylen, and Zach Lavine?
Well, they say it's fine, but there's been a lot of drama that's in the media about the two of them. You remember when we told you early in the season about Jim Boylen? His blue-collar background. He brought a time clock in by the team's practice facility for players to punch in to work each day. He's had that blue-collar mentality throughout the season, coaching his team hard. And Zach Lavine is a star who's at times he has bristled about some things that Boylen has done, the old school mentality, including tough practices last year. And this year, in blowout losses, Boylen will take timeouts late in games. He wants to use it as a teaching opportunity. And Lavine said it's tough to focus late in games and like that. Let's just finish the game. More recently, there was a game this week where Lavine had 40 points and took a deep three-pointer and was seen shouting, "I got 40 points." And people thought he was yelling to the bench about that, like more drama with Boylen. But Lavine quickly said, no, that's not an issue. It was some trash talk going on with himself and Dennis Schroeder, and he just wanted to remind Schroeder, you're guarding me, but I just put 40 on you. In fact, Lavine's played very well this season under Boylen. He has now had 6 40-point games this season. The only other Bull to have more than that in a season is named Michael Jordan. So that's the kind of season he's having to have a career high 25 points per game. But I thought he had a great quote when talking about the relationship. He said, between a player and a coach, I don't think anybody should ever think it's going to be buddy-buddy or best friends. You have a mutual respect, and when you have two competitive people out there, they just want the best. And that's what the Bulls want between their coach and their budding star player.